If you have a graveyard of half-finished projects, welcome. You're in good company. Oh, I have lots to say about this subject. Lots and lots. Today I want to talk about follow-through because this is one of the places ADHD has shown up in my life over and over again. I can start a project with a lot of enthusiasm and then somehow the ending disappears. And if you have a trail of half-finished things behind you, you are in the right place. Hi, everybody. I'm Maureen. Welcome to the Midlife ADHD group chat. Today, I would like to talk about follow-through. And of course, when I think of this symptom, the immediate things I think of are my hyperfocuses, my hobbies. I'm famous at having a lot of hobbies. And then I lose interest. And it can last for 2 weeks. It can last for 6 months, maybe. I always say I'm grateful that I stayed with photography. I started that as a hobby, I think near 20 years ago. So at least I've stayed with that one. Yay. Okay, because that's one's quite the expensive hobby, believe me. Photography is very expensive. So that's good. Good. And in my other videos I've talked about, I used to do portrait photography. My daughter was actually a model. And I would do portrait photography of other models too, all trade for print, meaning, it was free. We're just helping each other build our portfolios. I would do it for fun. I've taken pictures throughout the years, family and friends, and I have, oh good God, I think 300,000 or 400,000 images in my Amazon Photos drive. Anyway, family historian. So yes, thank God the photography hobby stayed with me. I basically have stayed with that. So that's good. But so many more hobbies that I've not stayed with, that I've spent money on, and honest to God, and this ties into so much of everything really, the hyper focus. Then you have to get everything for your hobby. Then that ends up becoming clutter. I'm making all these connections. Honest to God, I keep saying this. Making these videos is helping me to understand myself so much better. That I'm kind of getting the connections of sometimes when you learn something and have a light bulb moment, you're like, oh, duh, why didn't you ever see that before? But honestly, just now I'm kind of making the connection. I feel kind of goofy saying this because some of you might be like, yeah, that's pretty obvious, listening to you. I get I have the little light bulb moment. Let's do a hobby. Let me buy everything for my hobby. 2 weeks later, I'm bored. I don't want to do my hobby anymore. I have all this stuff that becomes clutter. Because, of course, I would never give it away or throw it away right away. Oh, no, I might need it again. Oh, I'm probably just going to pick this up next summer or in a few months, but I'm on a new hobby. If I even think that, to be honest, a lot of times I just drop it onto something else. What does that do? That creates clutter. What does clutter create for me with my ADHD brain? Task paralysis, stress, blame. I talk a lot about shame, you guys. And for me, I can only speak of myself. And if you feel shame, I'm not saying not to feel shame. I do not feel shame for my symptoms. This is a medical thing. My brain works differently than neurotypical people. It is a huge challenge for me to do the things like being organized, cleaning up clutter. It is much more challenging for me to do than people that have neurotypical brains. So I don't feel shame about it, but I do blame myself. I'll blame myself in the sense of, well, Mo, why didn't you learn from the last experience? You know that you end up doing a hobby for a few weeks or 3 months or 4 months, and then you end up having all this stuff. And then I'll get frustrated with myself. Or, God forbid, if someone swings by and sees my crap all over the place. Oh, my loving God. I've talked in my other videos about it taking like 6 weeks for me to clean off half the kitchen tables full of my freaking vintage lenses. My living room. Oh, my God. All through the winter, I was doing light pad photography and the hell's it called? Water refraction, water droplet photography. Having a blast, let me tell you. Spending 6 hours without drinking or eating, going to the bathroom one time. That crazy hyper focus you do. And then I left the light pad on my coffee table in my living room for 2 months. I'm not kidding. This is craziness. I walk by it every day. Oh my God, put away your light pad, Mo. Put away the lighting. You know, I have an LED panel above it. Put that away. How about if someone comes by? You want the living room looking nice? Nope, finally did it. Guess why I did it, everybody? I had to film something quick the other night because it doesn't matter. My camera died and I didn't film what I thought I did, whatever. I came back at night and I wanted to film it. I needed my light pad just as a little like window light. So I grabbed it. I'm like, you know, because, you know, the sense of urgency, that gets us moving. Oh yeah, I'm a billboard for the sense of urgency, believe me. Anyway, follow through. So follow through for me, what first comes to my mind is all of the freaking hobbies. Oh my loving God. I mean, I love my creative ADHD brain, but I got to tell you, it makes a mess. I mean, it makes a mess inside my head, makes a mess inside my house. I'm telling you. Anyway, I wrote up, when I have ideas, a lot of times I'm doing it like an hour before I do the video, but sometimes I just brainstorm a whole bunch of ideas and symptoms, and it might be a week before, and I did this last week. And the two things that came up for me when I thought of follow through and the lack thereof is hobbies. And I thought of garden art, which was like 3 years ago, a hobby of mine in the summertime, and water droplet refraction photography, which was a hobby of mine this past winter. And they both cost money to do. I mean, when I say cost money, sometimes it's 30 or 40 bucks. Other times it's more than that. Just depends on what I need for my, you know, what I need, quote unquote, for my newest hyperfocus. And honestly, when I am in the moment, none of this, I am just irrational. I am irrational when I am in my hyperfocuses moments, when I'm in my hobby time. I am not thinking about the clutter I'm making. I'm not thinking about the money I'm spending. I am just in it. I'm not thinking about doing a 6-hour macro photography shoot and going to the bathroom once only because I had to let my dogs out to pee. And I said, well, I guess I might as well pee. I did not eat. I did not drink. I was annoyed that they had to go out. I was like thinking, come on, hurry up so I can get back. I mean, it's like an addiction. Crazy. Anyway, but when I'm doing it, I can look back. I mean, I could even look like the next day. Well, no, that's untrue. Not the next day. Months later, I can look back and go, wow, that's kind of weird. Like, why'd you do that? Don't do that. You know, Mo, you have to, you know, I'll talk about it with my therapist too. Like, yeah, that's unhealthy. Like, I can't be doing that much. Not 6-hour long macro photography shoots bent over a coffee table. You can imagine my poor crippled body when I was done with that, for the love of Pete. Anyway, I just always check my phone to make sure that I'm actually filming everybody. Yeah. Follow through. I don't follow through with people either, and I'll talk about that in a second. I'm doing a little post-it note in my brain right now to remember that, because I don't feel like I'm very good, like, follow through with friends, you know, calling them and making dates and all that kind of thing. I suck at that, honestly. And the older I've gotten, the worse I've gotten. All right. So anyway, but as far as, I'm just going to use these two examples. Garden art. Don't ask me. I'm on YouTube. You know, I'm on YouTube all the time. 3 years ago in the summer, I think it was 3 years ago, I'm on YouTube and I see, you know, a suggested video. It's a lady that makes garden art. So, of course, I start following her, and then whatever I can find on garden art, because now if I'm interested, I got to find everything I can. I spend hours doing this, hours, I'm telling you. I start, you know, it's really pretty, and it speaks to the creative visual part of me, and I love the prettiness of it. And my daughter had stopped modeling, and I wasn't doing as much like portrait photography, you know, and again, not as a professional, as a hobbyist, but I was pretty good, to be honest, you know, for fun. Wasn't doing that as much. And I think it just spoke to me, you know, and I love gardening as well. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of awesome. It's kind of like my, you know, it speaks to my visual creative side, but it's also about gardening. So anyway, and I loved thrifting. At the time, I was really bad at thrifting. You can watch my other clutter videos and everything about my eBay. Over shopping too. Watch that one. Oh yeah, if you're interested in over shopping as a reseller. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Dug a big hole for myself in that one. Yeah, that I'm still trying to get out of, believe me. Anyway, so I would go thrifting, and I would like screenshot a picture of what the lady did, and I'm trying to get, trying to match up colors and look at, oh my God. And it was such a dopamine rush for me. And I'd always be I don't know why, I feel like I was always kind of pressured when I was doing this. Like, I go after work and I only have 45 minutes before the store closes, stuff like that. But anyway, that lasted, I'll be honest, I think that hobby only lasted 4 weeks, maybe 2 months. I don't know. Anyway, I still have 4 or 5 pieces outside. In fact, I was watering today and I saw them. And they're pretty. I got like 3 mushroom, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I have 6 or 7 pieces. 3 mushrooms. Then I made like a sunflower. So you'd buy like all these pretty ceramic plates and you could glue them with E6000 glue together. Or you take like glass vases, and it is actually really creative. And oh geez, I better not get excited about it. It'll be my new hobby again, for Christ's sake. I'm only half kidding when I say this too. But I would buy. Anyway, very long story short is I started filling up. And I remember this embarrassed me. This stayed with me. The negative stuff always stays with us, sadly. I want the more positive stuff to stay with us humans, not the negative. But anyway. But then on the other hand, sometimes you need to hear the negativity because it'll propel you to take action. Okay. This is what I'm doing. So I need, say, 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 pieces at most to do a garden art sculpture. Let's call it like that. And just envision all different colored vases that you glue together and you make kind of a, I'm really not describing it well. But anyway, you can do a YouTube search and just see the people that do it well really do it well. It's really beautiful. Anyway. But I would overbuy. Oh, what a surprise. She has ADHD. She overbuys. Never would have guessed. So I end up buying, to do one piece that I need 5 pieces for, I buy 12 because they're so pretty and you never know when you're going to need those other pieces. And look at the pretty colors and the shapes. And it is a visual art smorgasbord. I'm not kidding. It is fun. Oh my God. Now I did keep some of the things, just kept them because they were so gorgeous. I have like a beautiful golden, looks like from the 50s, a huge vase. It could literally stand on your floor. I'm going to guess it's about 3 feet tall. I don't know. I'm very bad at measurements. Maybe 2 feet tall and very wide, like 10 inches wide, maybe. I don't know. With bubbles in it. Gorgeous. I keep that. Like, in my living room. Anyway, so I've kept some of the vases and stuff. But anyway, I ended up not having room for them. Like, I couldn't really like put them all in my office on my desk because my desk is covered with other clutter. So anyway, I was putting them in on the coffee table in the living room. And when you enter my house, the living room is the first thing you enter. The hallway, right into the living room. And I ended up collecting a lot. And I would admire them. I mean, I would look at all the colors and I put them in, according to color or how I wanted to use them or whatever. And I mean, I'm talking about a lot of plates. I ended up running out of room on the coffee table. I had forgotten about this. While I'm talking to you guys, I'm thinking about it like, oh my, ding, ding, ding. Wow. Filled up the coffee table. Filled up the coffee table with the glass things. So this is over a period of like 3 weeks. If I remember right. It wasn't a long period of time, believe me. Maybe a month, maybe 5 weeks, but short period of time. I have the coffee table in the living room full. I think people are home and Primrose and Tasha are barking, so I'm going to stop filming for a minute. Hello, everybody. I am back. I have a little visitor. Little bedlam this afternoon here. Husband's forgetting that I'm filming and he's yelling up to me. And then I've got a little somebody at my door who would like a little attention. And it's not Primrose, our little snorty snorer. It's Tashi. She always looks a little shell-shocked. Okay, she's so cute. But she's learning. She is my rescue. If you're new, I have to remember people are new to the channel. You don't know. Oh, big rescue family here. Tasha is one of our rescues. And she is my Chihuahua Yorkie. And she is, literally her anniversary is on June 30th. 6 years with us. She's this past year just learning to sit on my lap for a while. Yeah, okay, great. So here we are. So anyway, she's now staying on my lap with me. Good girl. Okay, so this is what I was saying. So anyway, the coffee table is full of stuff. Full of stuff. I'm so impressed I can remember this from like 2 minutes ago. Yay for me. All right, so full of stuff. I mean, I just go crazy. Like, I have in my head I'm buying enough stuff to make maybe 4 or 5 sculptures. I literally have enough for 20, 30 sculptures, which if you know the history of me and hobbies, I would never be that interested in that hobby to last long enough to make 20 or 30 sculptures. Okay, so I make whatever it was I made. 5 or 6 things. I broke one, I think. So maybe I made 7 or 8 over the 6-week period. I bought enough for, like I said, tons. I ended up running out of room on the coffee table of the glass things. So now I have on the couch in the living room, the first room you see when you enter my house. Oh my God. Boxes of like these plates, and they're all colorful. I mean, the shopping part was so much freaking fun looking for all of this, using the creative brain. Hi, baby. I know, I love you. And I had so much, so I ended up having all these boxes on the couch too of plates and glassware and vases. And then, of course, I had supplies. My daughter walked in one day, and she's not a wise guy in general, but she's like I forget how she worded it, but it hurt me. It hurt me, and it embarrassed me. I mean, I think I was defensive more than anything looking back, because, I'm not a perfect person, like none of us are. But she said something like, "Are you a hoarder now?" or "Are we hoarding now?" or something sarcastic. But it was about hoarding. And that like hit me. And because, if you have clutter, that thought crosses your mind. And I talked in the clutter video, I talked about why I don't think I'm a hoarder, because I don't really have the emotional attachment to things. It's more like, I don't want to get off subject, but it's more like I start a hobby, I get so into it, I overshop, I have a bunch of crap, I lose interest in the hobby, and then you can come and cart away all the crap, and I wouldn't even notice, to be honest. So I have no emotional attachment, so I am not getting what I say. If anybody would just come volunteer and take all my hobbies and everything, hobby material away, I would be totally fine with that. But when she said that, a mixture of, and I will say, I did feel shame, a mixture of shame and blame and embarrassment and why can't I get it together? I mean, I think that just flooded me in those 5 seconds, 10 seconds, looking back at it now. And this was, again, I think, all right, you go sit in, you want to get down, Tosh? Why don't you sit over here in your bed, honey? All right. So anyway, so that propelled me. So I did clean up that area. I just moved it to something else. So yeah, this is about follow through, guys. Oh yeah. So yeah, perfect follow through. Great, right? Clean up. Great. I know. Honest to God, I'm on a tangent. I'm forgetting what the heck the name, the topic of the video is. Oh Lord. But anyway, yeah. Guess what I did? I packed it all up and brought it down cellar. So my cellar, which already, if you've watched my other videos, has bins and bins of my eBay inventory, now has a bunch of boxes, or it did anyway, a bunch of boxes of glassware and stuff. And a lot. I think one bin, a regular bin, and then probably 4 or 5 boxes. A lot of stuff. I ended up getting rid of it. My husband was cleaning out the cellar, or cleaning parts of it anyway, maybe a year later. And I said, will you just please take it to Savers right now? Oh my God, do you mind? Just load up and take all of it. He did and got rid of it. And you know what I thought of? Oh, well, maybe I should look through it. There might be something in there that I like. And I said, get the hell out of here. Thank God I have some guardrails. And I was like, I talk to myself a lot. I was like, get the hell out of here, Mo. Are you crazy? You are not looking through anything. The last thing you need is more clutter. So we got it out of here. But it was in my cellar for a good year. And it was taking up space. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I think I had broken stuff because, you're moving it for something else and then, you freaking break some. So he got rid of it. But anyway, that really hit me. And I don't want that. So anyway, how did I get talking about for follow through? So follow through for me in this area is follow through on hobbies. Like follow through. Like you start something and you finish it. You don't just stop working on something, halfway through. You complete the task. And I mean, this shows up in so many areas of my life. Oh God. I do want to talk about friends, but really quickly, because, while I'm talking to you guys, something always pops in my head. Another example. When I had to fill out the intake for my neuropsych eval, I had that done 2.5 years ago. My therapist had suggested it, and, hey, you know what? You might want to get a neuropsych. I mean, I already knew I had ADHD the first day I met her. I was like, yeah, I know I have ADHD, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of thought it was like, not a big deal. You know what I mean? I talk a lot. Not even understanding the half of it. I always say that. 10%, I barely understood it. But anyway, sorry, I lost train of thought again. Oh my God, it went right out the window. Oh yeah. One of the things that really bothered me at the time when I was doing the neuropsych was I just can't follow through on a task. It was a huge deal. And I'm talking about everyday stuff. I'm not even talking about, never mind the boring stuff, like, you know what I mean, cleaning my office, stuff that's not stimulating or novel. You know what I mean? What do we need? Like, we need novel and new. We need a sense of urgency that'll help us, motivate us to do a boring task. I'm talking about everyday stuff that you just need to get done, cleaning the kitchen, doing your laundry. I used to be so scattered. I'm better now about it, but I used to be just so all over the place that I am not exaggerating. I would start to clean the kitchen. I would see something on the counter that should be in the cellar. I'm not exaggerating. I would bring it down because if I don't do it right now, I'll forget. Let me go put it on the washer. I'd go put it on the washer and then I'd look, oh my God, look at all the clothes that need to be washed still. Let me go throw a wash in. I'm not exaggerating about this. I would throw the wash in. Oh my God, are they in the dryer? Are there clothes in the dryer? I guess I should check that. Oh, the clothes. Oh, yeah, those didn't run all the way through yesterday. Or was it the day before that I put them in the dryer? Oh man, they're damp. Okay, well, let me throw them back in. So I throw them back in. Dryer. I look around, I see a bin for eBay. Oh, wait a minute. I did sell that thing. Oh yeah, and I'm going to need the thing from the eBay. I'm going to need that for tomorrow, and I'm going to work in the morning, so I have to get my eBay stuff ready, so I might as well get that right now. I think it was bin 33. Was it bin 33? Yeah, I think it was. I looked through everything, bin 33. Can't find the item. Oh man, what was it? Oh God. All right, let me go upstairs and look. I am not exaggerating. I come upstairs to go on my computer to look to see what bin the stupid thing I sold was in. Oh no, oh my God, not 33, 34. Oh God, what the hell's the matter with me? Run back downstairs to go to the cellar. I have to go through the kitchen to get down cellar to get the inventory. Oh my God, why is the dishwasher open? Oh, that's right, I was loading the dishwasher. Let me get back to that. Start loading the dishwasher. Again, everybody, when you're listening to the craziness, just remember, I have all of the symptoms. Oh my God. Which is why I can't do the work I used to do 30 years ago, everybody. Because I am much worse in menopause, believe me. Anyway, much worse. Start doing that. Halfway through that, at this point, I think I wise up a little bit. Oh, wait, I need to get the bin. What bin was that? I have to get the inventory. No, Mo, you need to stop. You need to finish this task. And then finally, I would finish loading the dishwasher. Not clean the whole kitchen, of course. That would just be that'd be too organized. But at least loading the dishwasher. And then more than likely, I would just forget about bin 34, and the next morning I'd be rushing around like a maniac, trying to get my inventory, the item I sold together, and, pack it up and get the label and everything, and then go to the post office before work. So anyway, I don't miss those eBay days, to be honest. All right. So that's not follow through, obviously. But that's one of the reasons. I remember citing that particular example to the neuropsych, and kind of this is not uncommon, what I just described to you. I'm sure he was like, whoa, lady. But follow through, I do want to quickly say about follow through with friends. I'm one of those people that I mean well. I'm one of those people, yeah, let's do lunch. I'm one of those people, let's get together. Now, in my younger days, I always joke I was more social. The past like 20 years or so, I'm less social. I'm definitely more irritable, and I do think that's definitely, the hormones and menopause and all that. But I also kind of joke. I mean, I said this to my coworker a month ago. This sounds horrible, and I don't know if it's really true, but I do love my hobbies, and I do love like researching and everything. And sometimes I feel like I'd be fine on an island by myself. That sounds so awful. But you know what I mean? Just doing my hobbies and stuff, because I really enjoy it. But I don't think I really mean that. But I am just awful with my friends, just keeping up with them. I'm thinking 2 friends in particular. They're my longest friends. I have 3 longest friends. Like one literally I met at 4 years old. And then 2 I met like my sophomore year in high school. And the 2 I'm thinking about in particular, I'm embarrassed to tell you this, I have not seen them in 2 years. In 2 years. Well, almost 2 years. And one of them lives 2 miles away. I know, that sounds horrible, right? I know. I have the best of intentions, and they flit right out of my mind. It's always the worst times, too. Like I'm driving to work, or I'm in the shower, and I'm like, I gotta give them a call. Let's the 3 of us get together. This is crazy. And then I forget. I just forget. And I don't have follow through about it. I don't, like in this example, the follow through is what I'm saying. I do mean it, like in a text. We'll talk like every 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it is, every 2 months, 3 months, whatever. Somebody's birthday, Christmas, whatever, Mother's Day, whatever. Hey, let's get together. And I mean, I will say this, I do offer, like I have every Saturday night off, let's get together. So it's not just all me, they're doing it too. I mean, it's not like they're asking me, let's do this particular date and I'm just ignoring it. But I'm bad at the follow through, you guys. I'm just bad. I am that out of sight, out of mind thing too. The object permanence. That applies to people too. And I want to do a video on object permanence because I have plenty to say about that too in my life. Anyway, follow through. I want to end, though, with a little positive note. I just wanted to, the reason why I look at my phone, it just shows me, it operates my camera, and it tells me that I'm actually filming. One time I wasn't. Oh, my God, I'm babbling away. Wasn't filming the whole time. And then for me to try to remember what I was saying, good luck. Anyway, I'm going to end with this about object permanence. I mean, oh, my God, jeepers. Follow through. I started seeing a psychiatric nurse practitioner, a new one. I started one in January, didn't really like her, kind of fired her, got a new one. I started on Vyvanse in about 5 weeks ago. I have noticed, and I'm on a low level, 30 milligrams. And this is not medical advice, and I'm supposed to say this, I guess. This is a disclaimer. This is not medical advice. I mean, I'm sure people know that. This is not therapy. This is a group chat. It's just a bunch of us women with same symptoms talking and supporting each other. So obviously, anything I'm suggesting, talk to your doctor about, see if it's helpful. But anyway, I will say this. I do think it's helped me kind of with follow through. Doing this channel, it popped in my head. It was a great idea. Oh my God, I spent hours and hours of research. I can only use my photography equipment, my high-end photography equipment, but that also takes a new brand of knowledge because it's videography and not photography, and I have to learn how to do that. And then go get a lavalier microphone, learn how to use that. So learn the technical stuff. And I mean, there is a fear in the back of my mind. Oh God, do not make this video, Mo. And then this just be another hobby of yours that you drop 2 months down the road or 6 months down the road. And I'm very aware of that. I actually talk about it in therapy. And I don't think I will. And many reasons, but one reason is I feel very responsible, and I'm sure it's the former therapist in me. I feel very responsible. And I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn or whatever, but, if I end up having a bunch of people that come regularly, you know, whether they're just viewing it or subscribing and viewing regularly. You know, I don't want to be just like, oh, she was here and now she's gone. I feel like that's not very responsible. And that's obviously a very important reason. But another important reason to me is I really enjoy this and I'm finding it therapeutic. I'm not kidding. I'm finding like in real time I'm learning about myself. I'm either writing a script slash, as you can see, I talk off the cuff, but when I say writing a script, not literally like in a play or something, but you know what I mean, like bullet points to remind me, oh, I want to talk about this story and that story, whatever. I find I learn so much doing that. I learn so much about myself. But also in real time in front of the camera while I'm talking to you, I'm like, oh yeah, I never made that connection. Wow, that's so cool. So I also think that's another reason why I wouldn't just stop the channel. You know what I mean? Drop off and not have follow through. So what I want to say about the 5 hands is I'm feeling like this is an example of it takes a lot of organizational skills to do this channel. I'm learning a lot behind the scenes that I'm not really, Hello again, everyone. Oh, I'm so sorry about the starts and finishes of this video. It seems like I am interrupted all the time. Lately, and it's kind of funny and ironic because this is about follow through, and the video is about follow through. I feel like I'm not even following through ending the video. This one was my fault. Last time I'm going to blame the husband. The time before was Tasha, I guess. This one was mine. My battery ran out. I double check every time I go to film. It was halfway full, but it obviously went through quick. Anyway, I'm ending anyway. Okay. So, not sure where I was, everybody, but I know I was ending. So, my question to you is, what's the most memorable project you have started and never finished? Is there something that sticks out to you? Is it like a hobby that you started like I do and just never stops? Or could you relate to what I was talking about friends and kind of not following through on meeting up with your friends? My goodness, I'm really bad. I told you at that. And like I said, it creates so many other problems. I start a hobby, I don't follow through, I don't finish it. Halfway through I'm bored, 1/3 of the way I'm bored. Then I create clutter. And then I have the task paralysis and I just can't clean up the clutter. Which I'm sure if you don't have ADHD, this just all sounds like crazy stuff, but you know, when you have ADHD, you get it. That's why I think we need a community of like-minded women to understand each other. Just checking my notes, make sure I went through everything. Okay, I think I did. All right, so anyway, if you can relate to any of this, please like and subscribe. And I'm hoping that we can create a community of like-minded women and support each other. And we need it. Well, we need it. Okay. All right, everybody. Until next time.